I want to talk to you today about the relevance and the significance of coaching for performance. A lot of people debate and argue the point as to how relevant and how useful coaching is. Well, the best example I can give you is if you think about the most successful people, if you think about the most successful athletes and sports people in the world, they always have a coach. Well, why do they need a coach? Is it because the coach is better than the individual? No, not at all. But what the coach does is the coach helps that person focus on the goal they want to achieve and focus on what they need to do in order to make sure that they achieve the goal. A coach helps that individual performer remain accountable for the goal and pushes, drives and encourages them to make sure that ultimately the goal that that individual wants to achieve is met. In a business context, I think that having a good coach is one of the most important things if you want to become successful and if you want to remain successful. Sometimes what we need to do when it comes to having a goal or an objective, something that we need to achieve, sometimes it's just great to have somebody that you can chew the fat over with, that you can talk and discuss what you need to do and just run some ideas by. If you're managing teams, I'd encourage you to make sure that you put in place some kind of coaching structure for the team, just to make sure that you're pushing them and driving them to be as successful as they can be. Now, a coaching session is not just where you sit there and you have a chat about where they're at. It's not a daily or a weekly review. A coaching session is all about you helping facilitate them, setting their own goals and thinking about what they need to do in order to achieve their goals. I think the most effective coaching sessions are where you are more of a facilitator. You're not going to tell the individual what it is that they need to do, but you're going to help them come to the conclusion of exactly what it is that they need to do. One of the most simple and most straightforward structures for a coaching session is called GROW. GROW is an acronym and it stands for Goal, Reality, Options and What. Well, let's just think about all of those four things in turn. The G is where you facilitate them thinking about exactly what it is that they want to achieve. What exactly is the goal that they're looking to achieve? And making sure that when they set a goal that it's not just a very standard generic goal, it's actually something that's very specific and making sure that it is actually achievable. The R part of the acronym is looking at the reality. The reality part of the acronym is all about focusing on where we are at the moment. So we've looked at what the goal is that they want to achieve. The R is looking at the reality of where they are at the moment in relation to the goal that they want to achieve. Understanding the reality of where you are in relation to the goal that you want to achieve is probably one of the most significant steps. Once you know what the goal is, once you've looked at the reality of where you are in relation to the goal, the next step is to look at the options that are available to you to achieve the goal. It's working through all the possible alternatives, all the options that are available to you in order to help you achieve the goal. Some of the options that are available to you, you'll discount very, very quickly because they're not practical. Other options are options that you're going to want to follow. Another way to look at the O is talking about obstacles that are in place, because being able to preempt it and look at what possible constraints there are that may prevent you from achieving the goal is really, really significant, because that's going to help drive you in terms of the actions that you're going to put in place. The final part of the acronym is the W, and that stands for the what. What we're talking about when we're talking about the what is what exactly do you need to do and what are the next action points that you need to proactively do and to achieve in order to achieve that. So you know what the goal is, you know what the reality is of where you are at the moment, you know what options are available. Well, now the most obvious next step is to look at, okay, what are the next steps? What are the things that we practically need to do now in order to make sure that we're moving towards the goal?